get through it, but we can hope.
I'm like rubbing my hands together, like my shoulders are going up and down, and I'm kind of got like an evil smirk. All right.
And they're underway. Everyone going with the regular house play, picking up a nice 5-arrow upgrade to get them on their way.
And we already got a map check. We got, I believe that was 2 crystals in the Light World and 1 pendant. Pendant at Desert, and then Crystal 5 at Eastern.
So, kind of, you'll see here TGH going for a bit of a better play on that one by grabbing the sign in order to defeat the blue soldier quickly, rather than having to use the 3 bushes, which is quicker, even though it takes you a bit longer to walk up. Checking that tree and...
We're talking like seconds difference, mostly, but I mean, you know, oh wow, Moon Pearl, first progressive item. Well, I guess it's not really exactly progressing them right now, but that is a good item to find right out of the way. It's not going to be in the pyramid this time, guys. Man, you
one of those
think,
required items already ticked off. A clean start. Everyone immediately going for that sanctuary open. Was it 50 rupees? Nice.
You got to think, when you have 3 players all racing the same seed, and yet they take pretty much the exact same route, it's almost like they discussed this beforehand. Collusion. No, I'm just
I like how TGH though immediately went for another save and quit and goes straight back to Link's house. It's going to go for the under Kakariko play.
Okay, good. I want to see some route divergence. And, you know, that's one of the options that you have at the beginning. If you don't get, like, bombs from the first 3-4 chests that you check, sometimes it's nice to go down this route so you can get these free bombs down here. Assuming the RNG is nice today. And it is not. So TGH is going to have to pop back up and try again. Christos bailing on that red rupee. Oh,
there we go. 1 bomb. That's nice. I mean, the thing is, although they did get the 50 rupees at the sanctuary, so just picking up 10 from the shop is definitely a thing.
And Lumberjack Cave looked like a
I guess here, if they wanted to do the race because they need to, it is a nice little fail-safe, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to get, like, at least 2 bombs from that one spot, because then if the maze race is something, then you can check that, and then you could either take that other bomb to go farm some bombs in the far left corner in Kakariko, or whatnot. But with rupees in hand, might as well see players purchase bombs.
Nothing on race or library, though. Just a 10 upgrades and then a big 20. Nice.
And we got some more rupees in the Lost Woods, so... Our top 2 players are going to be coming into Kakariko with their 100 rupees in hand already.
Yeah. Kyle was lucky enough to get himself a 4 bomb drop, so he does have enough bombs to clear the entirety of... oh,
that's amazing.
Kakariko. Apologies if you're weirded out by the way I pronounce that. Don't ask, it's just a thing. Nice flippers. 14
yeah.
each.
TGH pulling up the flippers. So everyone's going to have flippers and Moon Pearl, so we're not going to be able to see any any flipperless Houlihan from these guys. But, you know, Houlihan's dead, so it doesn't matter. Alright, time to find out what else we got going on in Kakariko. We don't have a bottle yet, or a flute, which would make this the, you know, rather optimal Kakariko visit. But, you know, there's still plenty of time, plenty of chests left to check. I'm sure we'll find something.
Okay. Making our way up to bottle vendor. I don't know if we've had a bottle vendor check. I haven't really had a look there. I know that TGH doesn't have enough money for it right now.
And it looks like Christos going with the bomb buy, so he's going to have to grab a few more rupees along the way if he wants to check that bottle vendor, I believe. And let's find out what's in the bottom of the... Oh, we got a mirror in the bottom of the well.
Yeah, 2 big 20s in blind. The heart in blind. Hook shots. Blue cane.
Okay.
Whew, damn, that is getting a bit... It's getting warm in here.
It's a good start. Good Kakariko. So, but at the same time, mirror and hookshot don't really give us, you know, that immediate, like, I know what I have to do. But something worth thinking about. Moon Pearl, flippers, hookshot. That could lead to maybe a trip to, you know, through Agate Tower and then hookshot across the broken bridge kind of scenario. But still too early to tell. I'm getting ahead of myself. I know. We still need a few more items.
That's all good.
But a man can dream. And TGH picking up their blue cane while Christos is picking up their mirror and hookshot. Same with Kyle.
Man, this was nice finding the hookshot earlier. It's just one of those ones that you just want to see, you know? You just want to see it, and it's there. Nice. Relax.
Oh,
gloves
power
for
glove.
the bottle vendor.
Okay. Starting to open things up.
just one item away. Well, we're either another glove upgrade or a hammer away from Dark World. So players perhaps just relaxing a little bit into the potential of clearing out Aga. I didn't actually see when they did the lumberjack check whether it was actually anything necessary.
I believe it was a heart piece.
Ah, there you go. Halfway there.
Well, something curious. Because of TGH's route through Kakariko, since he came from the south side, I wonder if he's going to take that glove and go straight up to Death Mountain after this Lost Woods check. It would be a sequence break, but he can check a lot up there, and he also has the mirror as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, going into Tower of Hera without a sword or hammer or light source could easily lead to a dead end.
Yeah, they can't do any damage to Moldon right now, can they?
That is correct. They cannot.
Which sucks. But yeah, but as you say, given the density of items up there, they're probably going to find something. Christos making his way down to southern Hyrule, going for the dam, and going to be pulling himself out some nice items. He does miss the hook shot. It's okay, Christos. It happens to the best of us.
TGH going to be checking the bag of escape. There's 3 chests down there. Maybe he'll find his next item that he needs.
The dam has heart piece. Okay. And the chest has bow.
Oh, wow. That is an amazing item to find early. And the boots in the back of escape and a B-Torb.
Wow. TGH getting that speed up nice and early. Kyle hot on his heels, though, immediately going for the back of escape as well.
The seed is going to be free. I could already tell. Come on, like boots and bow? Like, bow is usually one of those just disgusting items that always takes forever to find, but, maybe it's going to be the ice rod this time. We can still hope.
We can still hope.
And I like this. TGH immediately going to go ahead and check the Bonk Rocks. That's one of those item locations that it's kind of easky to forget. He picks up a mushroom. Oh my gosh.
Keeping that fetch quest on. Checking out the mini Moldon cave as well. Nothing, just a lot of love from this guy. And the fire rod.
A blue potion and a fire rod out of mini Moldon cave, so... Jeez. What else, guys? What else are we going to find?
Quite stacked so far. You can see TGH now making that check on the Lumberjack Cave, and he's not going to be too bothered by what he finds.
Oh, it's a full heart. Could be Sank Heart. Might be worth getting, maybe.
You never know.
You never know. Kyle picking up his bow and checking what's in the dam. He's going to see that piece of heart there and probably make his way over Mini Moldorn. So now, we do have... I could easily see all 3 of these players sequence breaking to go complete Eastern Palace at this point. And who knows, we might find something in there.
Would it be technically a sequence break now? For Eastern?
Without the lamp, correct. It would be.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Brain fart. Yep. Although none of our players have checked. I mean, given what we've got here, there's no way to kind of like... I would just assume that, no one's checked Ice Cave, and I would probably put Christos' decision to do that down to the fact that he didn't have any boots just yet. Where if you do have those boots, obviously that long, trek all the way around is obviously made a lot easier. So it's something that TGH might pick up. We haven't had our trade off for this mushroom either.
And we saw up in Kyle's screen using that B-Torp that he got in the back of Escape to clear Mini Moldorn Cave a little bit quicker. Good utilization. Though, at the same time, I would have probably saved that to go back to Kakariko, check Sick Kid, and get 100 rupees from the bottle vendor.
Yeah.
But at the same time, rupees are free in this game. We'll find that 300 somewhere around here.
Christos is going to the back of Escape, going into the sewers from Escape, just completing that because he did have his fire rod, which is very nice for him, where our players didn't check that. So if this central item is something big, that's going to be really, really good for Christos.
And that's just the entertainment value of the randomizers. Just the minor routing changes allows you to kind of complete certain areas a little bit easier, a little bit quicker than your opponents.
Aye.
Nothing in the Ice Rod Cave. We'll see what the next play is going to be. We can't check Zora because we don't have the rupees, but we can do everything else in this area if we so choose.
I'm going to work on the proviso that Christos did get that item and he wasn't too impressed because he's just left. And he looks like he's making his way around to Eastern now, so he's going to make that dungeon play.
I I'm still a little surprised we haven't seen at least like a trip up to Death Mountain yet, but at the same time, you know, you don't want to sequence break too much, because that could lead you down the wrong path. Or the right path.
You kind of get too far ahead of yourself.
And it looks like TGH is going to be using that awesome whirlpool down south of Link's house to warp up here to turn in that mushroom. A bit quicker of a check. Smart play from him.
Yeah. So Hasrala's got a lot of money. And a lot
There's that 300 I was talking about. And the hobo only had a triple bomb, so lots of bombs in this seed so far.
Yeah. Explosive seed to start with.
Oh, and another 300.
Well, this is interesting as well because currently, you know, with Christos picking up that money there, and I mean, where was the mushroom again? I can't remember what the mushroom was. I was in Bonk Rocks, yeah. If he had checked that and he has the money now, he would then obviously be able to make his way around Zora kind of as they go, which is just a nice little cleaner route round. But until he does pick up that mushroom, it won't be a thought on his mind, at least.
Yeah. And for Kyle's sake, he does not want to see anything. He does not want Zora to have anything since he's going to be going here without the rupees for Zora. He does not want to have to come back there. Just to check that. But, you know, who knows? We could see a catfish to Zora check at some point, since he does. Our players do have the mirror, so it's on the table. Yeah. Just a red rupee. All right. What do we have in Eastern? This is all new information for us currently. We're gonna get any.
I didn't see what the first item. I think it was just a compass, wasn't it? It was rubbish.
Blue mail. It's a good find. Without a sword.
Yeah.
Still on that
just
first row of hearts.
Quality of life, really, isn't it?
Yeah, we saw quite a few deaths in our last race, so I wonder if we'll see any in this race. You never know, like especially just having the, you know, like Master Sword, you know, like not the best equipment. Sometimes the bosses can kind of get ahead of you. And there's the big key.
So that's gonna be quite.
Oh,
nice.
wait, what do you think? What do you think our next progression item is gonna be? I'm feeling a lamp, like a lamp and big chest or something would be nice.
Yeah, because it's one of those things that's like all the kind of options that are kind of available to them feel like they're just waiting for, you know, that lamp. There is a quake though.
All right.
That's
nice
something,
I guess. Can't use it, but might need that for later. We do have 2 pendant dungeons in the Dark World. We don't know what they are, and if they end up being Meyer or T-Rock, you know, those medallions might come into play, but you never know. Pendant dungeons in V27 oftentimes have at least one required item in there.
Yeah. Kind of seems interesting that, but obviously all of our players going for this sequence break on Eastern, just because they know it's not too much of a sequence break. It's not going to be kind of like shattering their overall routing. But in terms of kind of like what we have left that isn't, you know, going to be a break of some kind, we do have Agnes Cave down in Desert, which is going to be there.
Yeah, we have that. We still haven't seen what Zora's holding, and we also have the beginning of Hyrule Castle as an option. But a lot of times I feel like players will put off Hyrule Castle for a bit, and especially if you get like the bow. As soon as you get the bow, you're thinking Eastern. It's got to have something. And who knows? This could be part of the progress.
Our players do have a fire rod, which will mean that technically, though, actually, I reckon part of this isn't a sequence break, because they do have that fire rod there to be able to see, though, to use those lanterns. I assume that's counted on as part of the logic.
It is still considered a sequence break.
Oh, is it really? Okay. Because if there was something like that around the back, then probably so. But
well, I mean, here's the thing: if you change the logic so that there's like a torch in a dark room and you can hit it with a fire rod, that's like not part of the logic, then like Eastern would be weird, because like the dark room where you normally go to get the big key would be a sequence break, but to go beat Armos Knights would not. It'd be an interesting concept, but yeah, for now, all dark rooms require the lamp by logic.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so far, we got what? Blue Mail, Red Rupee, and Quake. So we have all 3 items in here, so
the Red Rupee
is just going to be
in the vanilla big key room.
Yes. Yeah. So the only thing we have left to get in here is that Pyramid Fairy Crystal.
Of course, you can see Armos Knights just being a walk in the part of Christos there. We're going to see very similar execution from all of our players here as they make their way towards the top of Eastern Palace. Nice though. Getting that first Cristal. 1 out of 7. Let's save and quit. Now, I probably want to see from. Okay, he's going to go for the house. Well, obviously, I would have wanted to see the sanctuary start straight over to Bonk Rocks and then up to Zora, eastern round to Zora, but he's going for the escape.
I'm okay with this play. We have seen. We haven't seen the map yet, have we? In Hyrule Castle. If we have, then there's only 2 items left down here. But who knows what the next thing's going to be. I'm still feeling like... I mean, we could even get, like, a flute to go up to Death Mountain. And, you know, Lamp could be in the Dark World somewhere.
That's always nice.
Oh, and we also still have Sick Kid to check. Almost forgot about that one.
Yeah, I have to go back there at some point, which is true. There's the map. So, yeah, 2 items left.
So the question is this going to end up being, like... It's going to end up being super linear? Where everything comes down to that one item that opens up the rest of the game? And will our players all make the same plays until they find that item?
It's as nice as it would be for our runners to have a simple seed. It's you always like to see a battle of wit when it comes to that routing.
Kyle going for generally the same play. Well, kind of the Ice Armos style Armos fight as opposed to the NMG style.
TGH as well making the exact same play on that escape.
All right, Kyle. Break the cycle. Diverge.
Go and check Agony. It's really close by.
Do something wacky. No, don't. Do what they're doing.
Do a flip.
Do a flip. Entertain us. And Zelda Cell holds a green bottle.
Ooh, really? That's really saying go and check that Sick Kid. 2 bottles now.
I believe we're up to 3 now.
In fact. Beatorb, blue and green.
Yeah. Now we just need the red one. Or a fairy.
Kyle's going up to escape as well.
Please,
they know what they want to do.
You know what I want to see? I want to see a bottle from Sick Kid so we can get all 4 bottles before we get our first sword. That would be amazing. Oh, Chris is going to be getting their mushroom, and we'll probably skip on over there to get that 300 rupees. This could come down to a Zora play. It's like, if you think about it,
it's obviously most unfortunate for Kyle because the main thing putting him back behind our other 2 players is the fact that he just went to Zora a little bit early.
Yeah.
On that one, and he found the money for it a little bit afterwards.
Because I mean, what do we have Sick Kid, we have Zora, we have Agnes Cave, and everything else would be a sequence break, and Agate Tower's not open yet. What do we got? Bombs. All right. That's not the answer. The bottles were a lie.
Dang it, Seed, please. Yeah, I think is Christos going to be making his way down?
I guess he hasn't checked this spot yet.
Huh. Intriguing. I believe TGH is making his play up Death Mountain right now.
No, I believe he is in the sewers.
Okay, yeah, it said 1F.
The only reason I knew that is because he paused and I saw the map and I was like, I don't think this is a map for Death Mountain. So that'd be nice. Might be able to get that old man out of the cave without your help. Alrighty, Christos. What's the next play? He's not turned in that mushroom.
Yeah, Christos is going. It looks like he's going north, which
making that Death Mountain play.
Yet another.
Unless he's just checking Lumberjack. Yeah. Well,
I'm pretty sure he did that earlier, though, didn't he?
He might have, yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we got a sequence break. Another one.
No one wants to go to Zora or Aghanos. Please. They deserve love too.
They're so far away. Besides, sequence breaks are more fun, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, with a sequence break, it could lead you down the wrong path, but at the same time, it could give you a lot of information about potentially where the item that you needed to not sequence break might be located. But at the same time, I think any Dark Rooms sequence breaks are worth sequence breaking. Because, you know, all these players at this point are comfortable with Dark Rooms. They don't need them. And when we already had the Fire Rod, we don't need a fire source. And we can get up the Tower of Hera now with that mirror, and we can also light the torch into the basement if required.
Okay, Christos making his way over to Eastern Death Mountain, which we do like. Love Cave coming up, otherwise known as Paradox Cave.
Yeah, we got.
I'm just saying, all I find here is hearts. It's just hearts.
Seven chests, and then one in Spiral Cave.
It's a good amount.
It's pretty good. It's like the second. It's like the secondary hype cave. There's like 3 hype caves. There's Mini Moldorn, there's Paradox, and then there's hype cave.
Heart. There we go. Hearts.
Yeah, it looks like Hal's going to be turning in his bottle coming up next. TGH turning in the old man. Get in your cave.
You're coming.
You got to turn the old man in.
What we got?
Oh, we got the mitts!
The single arrow. Big 20. And that actually is the main progression we need. Of course, Christos will hopefully continue and check Spiral Cave, but that is Dark World.
Dark World without a sword. Incredible. Oh, and the powder in Spectacle, and it looks like TGH is going to go for the hover.
Going for it. What a bro! What a bro! There we go.
You know, it only counts if he makes it back. And he does. Incredible, unnecessary. I loved it.
That one's for the fans. I don't doubt.
Hey, that's still that powder holds, you know, leads to an item, so it might be worth it.
Oh.
But yeah, at this rate, I mean, Agana Cave or Zora, one of those 2 spots have to have like a lamp or the flute. Like they have to. Or it could be like book to go do something else, you know.
Yeah. TGH making his way into Hera.
Well, he'll know. He knows. He knows he can't kill Moldorm. The nice thing for Christos' play is not only because he found the mitts, he can do all the Dark World stuff on East Death Mountain as well. He has the mirror, so he can just mirror back and do Hera and take a look in there. And who knows, maybe he'll find that sword. At this rate, I feel like he's going to find his sword. It's got to be in here.
I've got a feeling.
I've got a good feeling. And it looks like Kyle's going to be making his Death Mountain debut as well. And we got Dark World.
I checked. We've got a pendant truck. Blue pendant truck.
Green pendant thieves.
See,
and I believe that was...
I do that. I mean...
A crystal 6 at Ice Palace?
First 4.
Sorry, say that again.
Oh, sorry, I was just saying Thieves is always a fairly good check because of that. Just because of how quick it is to at least check the first 4. Hello, okay. So deciding to go down to the bottom knowing that he can't defeat Moldorm, just checking down here quickly. That's nice.
Yeah, he checked everything up there. Big chest and one in the middle, so... Now, it'd be incredible if he finds, like, a sword down here or something. But also incredibly hilarious.
That would be a monstrous read.
Alright, we're gonna find out what medallion we need for this pendant T-Rock. Maybe it's Quake. It is Ether. Ether for T-Rock. Kyle picking up his powder. He's gonna be running back to check the rest of Death Mountain. And Christos is hitting it up in the Hookshot Cave. What are we gonna find in here? Oh man, come on. Give us something. Wow.
Man, that's really unimpressive.
Hopefully he mirrors right here. Because I don't... Did we see what was on the floating island? I guess...
he
would have checked it.
I missed the moment when it was checked. Hopefully we're going to get that coming out from Kyle now.
Yeah, I believe he would have checked that when he went to go do Spiral Cave, so... Since he didn't go get it, I'm assuming it's nothing. Oh, nice. TGH falling right in the middle of that little rock barricade. I didn't catch what he found in the Hera basement, but I'm assuming it was nothing.
Again, nothing we can really use here. Just wanting to kind of check and see what it is.
So with that information in hand, I mean, what do you go to Agana to find out what the thing you're missing is? Because I mean, it's one thing if it's like, oh, I'm gonna skip out on the lamp. Who cares? But if it ends up being like the flute to get up here, I mean, that's pretty important, especially with that crystal mire. And that's also our only means of getting into desert.
Yeah, and as you say, both of those kind of like last locations are really, really far out of the way. However, I do feel that there's definitely a bit more of a reason for TGH and Christos to go and check Zora, just because they haven't yet checked. You know, obviously we know the waterfall cave is just a bust, but you know,
that's true. They have four.
There's a lot more options for them to go and do that. That's 4 items for them, not 1 for Kyle.
Christos picking up his powder, and let's see what his next big play is going to be. Probably, I mean, he's got really only 1 play. Well, he's got a few. If he wants to dive into the Dark World, he'd go to Sanctuary, so I'm assuming this is going to be a Zora check, or Agana. Zora. Alright, cool. We are going to find out if Zora is holding that progression item.
Obviously, our lovely witch just had money, which I don't think Kyle hasn't traded in his mushroom yet, has he?
Neither him or Christos, I believe, have. Or Christos might have. I don't know. Just trying to base it on the rupee counts.
So yeah, there is Christos making that play up there. So, yeah, that was kind of. I just think it's definitely the smarter of the plays for TGH and Christos based on the fact that there is a bunch more items. Now, I mean, it's one of those things. As you say, would you want to just risk it and say, oh, it's just the lamp? You know, I got here because of that reason, blah, and move on, or do you want to kind of like go for that other big item, knowing that as well now that Maya is a crystal? If it is, they'd definitely be wanting to go for it. But you know, you've also got the mirror, so you can get back. So regardless of the fact, hammer from
hold on. Okay, that's a game changer. So I'm assuming there might be nothing in Agana. The actual play was to get the hammer from Zora to get into the Dark World. So
yeah.
That's ridiculous. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, this game's
and
amazing.
This is kind of what I was gonna kind of like maybe move on to, is this idea of, you know, closing the loop. When you do sequence break, you have to somehow close that loop you've created.
Well, that's the thing, because I
have done an okay job.
I had narrowed it down to just lamp and flute.
He was there, and because of that, it might take him a while potentially to go back up there.
Yeah, that's bad for Kyle. I mean, who knows? He might still do catfish into Zora at some point. So I'm sure he's got Zora on his mind, but it is going to put him off for a little bit. This hammer's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got in Hype Cave. Still looking for a sword. Sword would be nice. What?
Oh, and then another heart. Lovely.
That's a bit of a bummer. But yeah, that's just something to think about. Is like I was narrowing it down to just lamp and flute as means to Death Mountain, but it doesn't just stop at that. You know, there's so many other options that it could have been, because like Zora could have had the book to go into desert to get like the lamp or flute. You know. So the question now is
on the table, but it's just kind of like how much you were willing to bet it being, you know, something to break the seed open properly. I find
it's also something
players have made this play on Hera just on the off chance that they'll get something to defeat Moldorm.
Yeah. You never know. Could have got lucky. And now the thing is, had Kyle had the rupees for Zora, he would have had the hammer going up to Death Mountain. He would have been able to clear Hera in one bit, which would have gave him a slight advantage. And I still don't know what was in the Hera basement. So Moldorm might actually have the last item. I wasn't keeping track. But
TGH as well, making that play on Agana. So after this, he's going to know that it's just Zora left.
Oh, the ice rod. Oh, that's not something you want to see when it's a pendant T-Rock. That's disgusting.
Oh, I can basically do it now. Just waiting on that Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, and that Ether medallion. So these players don't want to see that Ether, ever. Ever. Like, put it in G-Tower.
Yeah, please.
Unless they need it for Meyer, then please don't put it in G-Tower. Alright, only $20 from the digging game. Let's see what our players... We're going to be seeing a lot of route divergence from here on, is what it seems like, with TGH Checking the King's Tomb, only to get a heart container.
A little bit mediocre, but such is life.
Such is. Now Kyle's skipping out on King's Tomb, but who knows? He might be setting up the Dark Room to go do North of the Graveyard, King's Tomb, and then go straight to Catfish Zora.
Yeah, yeah. Just making their way obviously into Dark World with their sequence broken mitts, and it will just kind of help, I guess, catch them up a little bit.
Yeah, Skullwoods is not really on the table. You can check the first part, but without that sword, you can't kill Mothula. Well, you can check the second part too, but without that sword, you can't get to Mothula. But it looks like he is going to be routing that way towards Catfish after he's done here. Just that'd be my assumption. I'll be wrong. I'll be happy to be wrong. Just game holding the silvers. Ooh. Wow.
So
silver arrows. Yeah, silver arrows before you get your first sword. What is this seed? And another 300 out of the Peg Cave. All right. So here we got a lot. We got Christos focusing on the overworld. We got TGH picking up his blue boomerang in Green Pendant Thieves Town without a hammer. So that big chest could be a thing. And then we got Kyle over in Crystal Skull Woods, which you can't complete because it doesn't have a sword. So we'll find out. We'll find out what the right answer was. And personally, I'm still
Dark World, and then jumping around to the right side to check the Mad Batter.
Oh, and TGH pulling up the red mail in Thieves Town, so that's some more defense for you. All the mails before you get your first sword. Thanks, Vitor. So we haven't really.
Checking up at Kyle. What was it?
It was bomb upgrade, I believe. But this is good for Kyle. TGH is he needs to find some sort of progression somewhere quick, or he needs to make his way to Zora if he wants to, keep up with these guys. That hammer is such an important. It's such a crucial item in this game.
Yeah.
That unless you get some sort of wacky seed where hammer ends up being your go mode item somehow, which happens, he's gonna need to make his way over there eventually.
Yeah, just given how powerful it is. Oh, there's the ether medallion.
Oh, wow. Disgusting. Oh, you don't want to see that.
Noise in the back of your head, isn't it? Turtle Rock.
Please stop. Now, where did TGH find the ice rod again?
The ice rod was in Agony Cave.
Okay. And hammer in hand, Christos.
Yeah, I mean, interesting. Now that Christos has got the hammer, he's going to go up and just complete Hera.
Well, the nice thing about it is he could do that, and then he could also do Spike Cave at this point. So it is a crystal.
It is a crystal. You're right.
And he'd already been in there, so I'm assuming there's got to be an item at Moldoran. Otherwise, this wouldn't be such a, priority, I'd say. Yeah, Kyle making the play over to Catfish. Gonna be getting his hammer from Zora eventually, and who knows, maybe Catfish is also holding a good item.
I'm just thinking about as well, like the dungeons that are available right now for Christos with this hammer. He can clear Pod, he can clear Swamp as well. Two big crystal dungeons with a lot of items. He's got this. If he wanted to really press that advantage, it'd be probably nice to get those done and dusted.
Oh man, just the idea of doing Swamp Palace without a sword, even just with hammer strats on Argus is just awful. But at the same time, you're right.
Overlord.
I also feel like Swamp Palace is just one of those dungeons that has a high probability of holding a sword. Now, this just could be confirmation bias, but it is my personal opinion that oftentimes there are swords in Swamp Palace. So
I can't disagree with that idea.
Alright, let's see what the Catfish is holding.
Okay, here's Kyle checking Catfish, and he will go and get his hammer immediately after from Zora. He's got that mirror ready. He knows it's now the time to make that play. Just a rupee from Catfish as well.
Christos taking out Moldorn with that hammer, getting the dungeon map. So the last item was in the basement. Okay, so this fortunate, a little bit of a time. Well, no, it's not really a time waste, so to speak. He got a crystal, but he's already done pretty much everything up here. Otherwise, man, where are the swords, please?
Ah, there it is, hammer. Kyle's gonna be very happy with that. And as you say, yep, rightly predicted, going down straight down to Spike Cave. I think we've just seen too many people losing races because Spike Cave has some ridiculous item that makes everyone cry when they realize they haven't checked it. So everyone's checking Spike Cave.
As someone that has lost because of Spike Cave, yes. That dang bow was in there. But you know, it happens. Oh!
Wow.
Oh my gosh, Christos, you are a legend.
Okay.
What was that? Do you have like a? I'm speechless.
I think he just knew that, you know, I have one heart left, and only if I get rid of this stone will I take damage. So I'm gonna bomb my way out of it.
Do you not take damage when you're holding the stone?
It's nice awareness. Okay, here's the.
All right. Anyway, moving on. That was incredible. And he got the bug net, which is also, you know, a legendary item. So.
Forgetting that you can't get without a sword.
No. Yeah, Christos going to be the first one to make that Palace of Darkness play, and yeah, Eastern is already done. So, but the nice thing is he will be able to complete all of this dungeon. It is a crystal, and I'm just going to have the joy of seeing some dark rooms in Palace of Darkness.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It looks confidence right there. Confidence.
And I would go ahead.
At this point, you would have thought our players would practice it.
Yeah. At this point, anyone in the main tournament is comfortable with dark rooms. I was about to say TGH was in the area to go check Zora, but it looks like he's going to route in the Pyramid, Catfish, and then finish off with a Zora trip. So he'll be getting his hammer shortly as well. And who knows? Maybe we'll find something on the Pyramid. Just a piece of heart. Bummer. All right, cool. So once again, we have all three players kind of doing different things. Christos and Pod, Kyle and Swamp, and we'll get that beautiful information of finding out who was correct in their routing.
And it was kind of nice that those two main dungeons that we were kind of like just discussing have been opened up now, and it's going to be down to who gets lucky enough to find an item that works. Bombs so far, so a cracking start. I'm sure you'll agree for Kyle and Swamp.
Precisely. And it is also worth noting that both these dungeons can be completed without the need of a sword, and especially with but Kyle didn't get the silver arrows out of chess game, so because he did route all the way to Catfish once he got into the Dark World, so he's gonna have to save up a couple arrows, pop eight arrows into that. Oh, excuse me, Kyle's in Swamp. I got him mixed up. Let me rephrase that, or let's just move on.
Go for it. That was
well, actually, honestly, the same goes for Christos. He doesn't have the silver arrows either, so. Yeah, we haven't found anything yet. Both these dungeons can kind of be pretty boring at the beginning, not really holding anything of value, but then again, this chest that Kyle's about to check have oftentimes held something very important. And we're still looking for that sword, so hopefully we'll find that soon.
Okay, this is it, the moment of truth. This is the sword. No, it's not. Damn it. Everyone else can do that. I don't get it. How? How do they just go, it'll be the... There it is!
Oh, you were so close!
I was looking at the wrong screen when I said it. Can I pretend that I meant Christos when I said that?
Yes.
We'll
fix it. We'll fix it in post. It's fine.
Good, thank you.
And our first sword, 39 minutes in, gonna be in that awful chest in Palace of Darkness. So that's crazy. Now I'm still thinking that Kyle's gonna find a sword in Swamp Palace as well. Yeah, the best part is when you have multiple. I mean, there's 4 swords to find, And when you have 3 different players with different routes, and one player finds one of the swords, the other player finds the other sword, and you're like, when are they going to go back and find the other? I can't imagine anyone missing that sword that Christos just found, though. So
those become increasingly more interesting when you're looking at a very, very close race, and one has Master Sword and one has Tempered.
Yeah, it's a pretty big difference maker. I mean, fortunately for all these players, because nobody skips chess game, they will get the silver arrows eventually. TGH picking up his hammer, and Christos is looking in the back section of pod, looking for that next thing. At this point, Bowie, would you go for a Skull Woods play now that you have that sword? If you were Christos?
It's definitely one of those quicker ones. I mean, if I've already dipped into it and kind of cleared it out, I'd probably just save it just for later on and just kind of go and check other things, and just kind of leave Skull Woods just for kind of like a swift clear towards the end. But if I hadn't checked it, I'd definitely make my way over there. Just with Fighter Sword, it can be a little bit worrying if you're just sitting on Fire Rod and no half magic as well. But if you're confident enough with that hammer, then sure.
Yeah, we have seen hammer strats coming from these players in this tournament on Mothula when they're stuck between. Oh my god! Okay, I don't think there's going to be a sword in Swamp anymore. Clearly, they're both in pod. Oh my gosh. Okay, so... Alright. So the game wants you to get the hammer from Zora, and then go straight to pod to get your swords. Yeah. Oh wait, well, except, where's that lamp then? Because that was...
it was in pod.
It was in pod too?
Yeah.
Pod! Oh man. Pod with all the value these days. What's going on? And it doesn't seem like Kyle has found any of value in Swamp yet, but there is still 3 more chests and Argus coming up. I don't know if he got
kind
the
of
big key yet.
For excuse my stutter. It's TGH over Kyle because he is making that play on pod first as well. Knowing that it's just a little bit shorter. Oh, there's the half magic line. And a sword.
There's a sword in there. All right, I'm satisfied. Half magic and sword in Swamp Palace.
If there's a sword in this chest as well, I'm gonna rage.
Okay, there's the big key. All right, okay. So 3 swords within like 3 minutes of each other, or less than 3 minutes, or 3 minutes old. So that's, whew, okay, that's good. That's good for Kyle. And who knows? Depending on how the rest of this route goes, a lot of times players will put off Swamp so that they can go moded. And, with Master Sword in hand, you're kind of like, all right, I could beat Ganon, that's fine. I don't really need another sword. I can live with this. Go mode Swamp, a lot of times players will skip those chests, so missing out on a sword and half magic wouldn't be detrimental, but it would definitely be...
So this is the hard thing about a Fighter Sword Argus, is that you're going to be basically charging your sword up, going for the trying to get 2 if you can, two path balls if possible, and then kind of unleashing this the spin attack to hopefully get 2 hits. But it just takes, you can see how long it takes. It can be very, very annoying, as Christos now has taken down the mighty Helmasaur King. If you are just joining us, by the way, and maybe a little bit confused about the layout here, we are doing a 3-way tiebreaker because all of these players are on 3-1 in groups. Basically, Kyle beat Christos, who beat TGH, who beat Kyle. Which means that, there's no clear winner here. So the top 2 from this race will go through to brackets.
To top 16. Which, based on the players that have already made it through, looks like a scary place to be. Yeah, you can just see how frustrating Argus can be when you don't have... I mean, even the Master Sword is kind of a nice advantage. And, just based on routing, had Kyle, routed to chess game and gotten the silvers, then, he could have used 1 silver arrow, assuming you don't miss, takes out second phase Argus. Now, something else worth noting is that he did get the big key on his way to Argus. I don't know if he's already seen the dungeon maps, so we might actually see a double dip from Kyle to go check that big chest. We'll see. Looks like it.
Yes.
Whoa, did you see on TGH? He just clipped through that railing. This game is so broken.
I think I've seen that. I believe Andy kind of hovered over one of the things and just walked across.
Oh yeah, that one pod hover.
Yeah.
So you can skip the bow section? Yeah.
Cool game. Cool game.
Cool game. Cool game. That's why we love it. That's why we're here watching this, because it's a cool game. Alright, we're going to see a catfish check from Christos, and I wonder what his next play is going to be. He does have the hookshot, so he could backtrack back over to go check King's Tomb in North of Graveyard, getting that Ether Medallion. TGH about to go. Yeah, TGH about to go pick up his Master Sword, and Kyle, what's your next play, big guy? Where you going? Are you going to Ice Palace? Are you a madman? He's a madman. He's insane. It is a crystal. It is Pyramid Fairy. He does have Hookshot, Hammer, and Fire Rod. And now he has half magic, so he's probably feeling very comfortable about this Cold Stare fight. I like
not
it.
a bad play. A very ballsy one, but definitely not a bad one.
It's one of those things where it's like, as you were saying, you have Pod and Swamp, both very long dungeons with a lot of items. It's like, well, I picked one of the two, so now I need to go do something else. Otherwise, I'm going to feel behind if I full clear Swamp and full clear Pod. Unfortunately, those two swords in there are going to keep them at bay for a little bit. It would be nice to have Tempered Sword already.
Yeah, I would be interested in kind of seeing. So, given the potential for this, if Kyle puts off Pod for quite a while, I rhymed poet and didn't even know it.
You had to ruin it by saying that, but go on.
By the way, sorry, I was just feeling.
I'm just kidding. Keep going.
If he was to kind of make it through overall and kind of do a really quick Pod and end up getting his Master Sword, his he only has the one sword. He picks up Master Sword and then grabs the key and doesn't check the big chest and finds himself down a sword. That is a potential, basically, just depending on how long he leaves it.
Yeah, I think it's something worth noting is the likelihood of it's more likely that TGH and Christos might skip that half magic and sword and swamp as opposed to Kyle skipping the two swords and Pod. So it really just depends on how the rest of the routing goes, because if you can go mode swamp, you're gonna go mode swamp and actually go mode it, not check a few things, but who knows. And TGH taking down the king. Gonna get his heart container. I think it was a heart container or a compass. It was a heart container. Okay. ChristosOwen picking up his Ether Medallion, thinking, ugh, gross. Probably wants to put it back.
He wants to put it back. I would. I'm not going in there.
I believe we've only seen one item so far in Ice Palace for Kyle. It was I believe, a heart container in the first chest, so he's got to do a little bit more routing around here.
Let's see that bumper cave check from Christos. We're too impressed with it.
So what's the next big play? Looks like TGH is going to be making that Skull Woods play potentially coming up. He's got not just a fighter sword, but a master sword now, which is going to make that fight even easier. Kyle narrowly avoiding that anti-fairy. Those things are the worst. Almost as bad as this room in general. I don't like this room.
What with the ice?
Yeah. Ice is just bad. The ice physics are just...
game to throw.
Imagine if the Cold Stare fight had ice physics in it as well. I'm kind of surprised it doesn't. But, maybe if they have a Master Quest version, a harder version. They'd add ice to the Cold Stare fight. Oh, and we got a little bit of a high five from TGH and Christos. Partying up in Skull Woods.
Okay, he's going to make his way around to the other side then and clear out this dungeon. No one's got a book, so unfortunately no pedestal check. I say that, but
Well, that just means that maybe we'll get a blind pedestal. But at this rate, pedestal's looking pretty...
Yeah, I'm trying to think about what could really be in it right now. But something that we need, and I'm just kind of blanking. I mean, flute.
whenever I see Pendant T-Rock, I already kind of write off Pedestal. Just because of oftentimes the requirements to do T-Rock. But, based on the information we have, we're just a missing Kena Samaria away from T-Rock, so...
I mean, the only item I think that can really necessitate a Pedestal would be Flute. If you found it. There's the Kena Samaria, as you say that. Looks like Troc is happening.
Ah, disgusting. So...
You're a brutal man with it.
Whoops! Well, with that in mind, that Ice Rod over in Agina's Cave...
Did I just say that out loud?
Whoops! Might come into play, Trinex could be holding the next progression item. Who knows? This could... Well, let's talk about what could potentially be on the pedestal at this point.
It would just be Flute, or if it was an item to get Flute, like Shovel or Book.
True. Book. Our favorite pedestal item, the book.
I remember when I first saw that, I was like, the storybook sleeps again forever. I was like, oh, that's so heartwarming.
I love the little messages during the credits.
Well, I was watching a race earlier that was just, well, that happened. yeah, it did.
Alright, let's see this. We got 2 Mothula fights and a Cold Stare fight coming up with plenty of potions and, firepower and half magic for Kyle. Can't imagine this being a struggle. Please don't prove me wrong.
Guys, if you are enjoying what you're seeing, to make sure to follow them on Twitch. Make sure to give them a good old follow on their channel and check it out. And obviously make sure to follow all of the Speed Gaming channels. I think there's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Someone's rooting for 8 to the Ocho. Make sure to keep track of all of the rando action going on here and around Twitch.
Oh man, beautiful fights all around.
3.
And there's the shovel. So
shovel into
Book Woods.
into the flutes on the pedestal.
Now, curious factor: Kyle made the play into Skull Woods, but I guess he skipped out on checking the big chest because that's where the cane was, and he didn't get it. I saw him go in and do the beginning, so.
I think it was just that thing you went, you know what, I haven't got a sword, why am I bothering?
Yeah, potentially.
TGH, unfortunately, not checking the big chest and will find himself wanting here.
He's gonna find that small key,
we know where the final item is, and that is the Cane of Samaria on that big chest, so... unfortunately for him, he's going to be quite sad when he opens up this chest. Boo.
It looks like Kyle is going to be going for... Oh yeah, this actually... The completion of Ice Spells, that opens up the Pyramid Fairy item. 2 items coming up, and, based on that routing, I could easily see him go Pyramid Fairy to Pod, where he's going to get his next 2 swords. So that's good news. That's what we want to see. TGH making his way back. He's going to get his he's going to get that big chest check, going to get his Cane of Samaria, and of the 3 players, he's the only one with the Ice Rod, so we might see a T-Rock immediately after this.
Sorry. I found that hilarious. TGH was trying to go for the bomb jump, and he started dashing at the door and went through it.
Oh, he was
sorry. He was just the perfect pixels away to not bonk.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Sorry, that tickled me.
Oh man, nothing but junk in the Pyramid Fairy chest. So, but let's hope that Kyle makes that play over to Pod to keep this race a little bit closer. It's hard to tell who's in the lead. It really depends on if T-Rock actually comes into play because, that Ice Rod, Cane, all that could be a red herring if T-Rock ends up having nothing. Christos going to be making that Ice Palace play where I believe we didn't find... No, we didn't find anything in here, did we?
I don't think there was anything substantial, otherwise we would have remembered it, honestly.
Yeah, true. I mean, other than the Pyramid Fairy crystal, which is... A crystal itself is pretty substantial.
Yeah, it turned out to be completely bunk, though. What was it? Just double arrow upgrade, I want to say?
Yeah, it was an arrow upgrade and just arrows, so... which is perfect, because Kyle's going to go fight Helmassar. Still... We haven't seen a full, we still have that whole Green Pendant Thieves Town into play. The only person that's been in there was TGH, and he only did the first 4 where he found that red mail.
Hmm.
So we could have like a flute at Sahasrara scenario.
Ooh.
But also at the same time, nope, we need to find that book before that pedestal becomes a questionable item, because we don't have access to Desert Palace as of yet.
No. That flute is just kind of that one item that's, the one that's going to be quite... It could be the one that, comes down to where is this little guy.
Yeah. Where could it be? Flute on Laser Bridge is always a possibility.
It's always a good one.
I've seen that there. I've seen so many good things on that Laser Bridge. And, I mean, they have Kena O'Brien, which, unlocks the Laser Bridge by the logic.
Yeah.
As well as everything else, so... Could even be Flute on Tranix, who knows? I'm curious to see what TGH's next play is going to be. When you have, Crystal Swamp or Pendant T-Rock, but you know who your opponents are, it's like, do I make the dumb play that pays out, or do I make the safe play that takes time but gets me a crystal? It's a tough call. It's a tough call. When you're at this stage of the race, you're just like, what do I do? Where do I go? I'm scared. Hold my hand, please.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming up to the hour mark now, and, we have like 3-4 pendants across the board. Crystals across the board. Funnily enough, I was sitting there saying, going back up to Hera just to clear it out, but, that does give Christos the pendant lead. Pendant? Why do I keep saying pendants? They are crystals, Bowie. They are very different things.
They are blue and or red. Oh wait, those are also, there's a blue and a red pendant. Crap!
I just like the way the pendants look when you open the menu and you're in the light world. They're just very colourful and nice.
They're quite fancy. Alright, Kyle picking up his Master Sword. He is on his way to go pick up his Tempered Sword, which is actually going to give him a pretty good advantage. Because as Bowie was saying earlier, the difference between Master and Tempered throughout the game, and as well as the Ganon fight, is pretty substantial.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the biggest upgrades, if not the biggest, in the game, really. Like, I think there's a lot more 2 shots with a Master Sword that become 1 than any other enemy or kind of air point in the game.
And I'm also, at this point, kind of getting nervous for Kyle and Christos not finding those silvers out of the chess game. And, a lot of times, it's hard to tell, because a lot of times, Thieves Town is the answer. It has, something you need. But whenever Thieves Town is a pendant, you're like, if I could skip its entirety, that'd be great. And, personally, you see in a race that Thieves Town is usually the first play you make when you get into the Dark World. So, kind of surprised to not see that from any of these players. So at this point, we know the location of pretty much all the quote-unquote required items that we need to progress, minus the flute. So it's coming down to that classic V27 style. Where is that last item to hit go mode?
So it's very rare you kind of get everything just on a whim. I think Kyle will be very happy with his pickup here. But bam! Look at that. She's a beaut.
That Cheeto sword. It's been interesting. Both TGH and Christos have been following pretty much the exact same route. They both did Skullwoods together. They both did Ice Palace together, holding hands, skipping, having a little giggle.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, nice. I love it when players have, setups like we just saw from TGH to set up that bomb jump. Ooh, Chris has got to be a little bit careful.
There he goes.
Goodness for all those potions.
Yeah. He's not gonna mix his words. He's just gonna go for it.
Any death at this point from a boss without a fairy to save him is just it's so monumental in this race.
It's crushing your spirits as well. You're not gonna be happy about that one at all. Why do players do this? They know that this is the case. They always get the chest, go back and get it, and just go upstairs and come back. It's still going to be there.
Well, when you're looking for one more item, if you could skip these 2 chests, if you find that item that you need, then I think it's a good idea.
Right, yeah, not with your smarts. I didn't think about that, all right?
It's okay, I forgive you. Yeah, at this point, Kyle's still looking for a few items, cane and flute. So, but for TGH and I guess now Christos, they're just looking for that one item. They're probably comfortable with Master Sword Ganon. They don't need another sword, though they wouldn't mind finding one on accident. And it looks like we just hit the 1 hour mark, and let's look at the crystal count right now. Kyle's sitting with 3 crystals, about to get his 4th. With TGH sitting with 3 crystals, about to get his 4th, and Christos sitting at a comfortable 5 crystals already.
I just know that he wants to make Swamp as much of a non-event as possible. He's gonna go and get Chess Game and check out those cheeky silvers.
That's a nice one. It's like, okay, good. My Master Sword is not going to be alone in this fight. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Christos is doing what you're saying he will, and wanting to go mode that swamp, that Master Sword might be his only friend. But who knows? We might get a sword in G Tower to bail out these players. We've seen it before.
So it's nice when you get bailed out, just checking.
Yes. Especially if there's like a sword in the very last chest in G Tower. You're like, oh, cool, great, thanks.
That's really helpful.
Yes.
When you have Fighter Sword as well. Like, there's my Master Sword.
That's exactly what happened in, not the Fighter Sword and Master Sword, but it happened in the big tiebreaker race. Where the top 6 were fighting to get into the group stages. There was a sword in the very last chest that actually made a big difference for one of our players, so I'm not going to spoil too much if you guys want to go watch that, because it was a super hype match.
VODs are available, guys. So yeah, Christos making that play into Thieves now. The question is, well, obviously, will he, do the whole thing, or will he just, duck out as soon as he's cleared these first 4? These are really quick, and there's no reason to ever not do this. Really, I find, even if it's pendant, just check it. But he's gonna go for that completion play, which I agree with, really. You can't. It's quick. You can't really tell. You just don't know. Like anything you do is a guess. I don't know. Just like I think TGH is going to be going for Swamp, which it's a crystal. Who cares if it takes a little bit longer? It's a crystal. You just tick one off. Yeah,
it's a much. Oh, actually, he's going to be doing Pyramid Fairy first. He did just finish Ice Palace, so
yeah,
it all depends on what he does next. Because what do you do? Do you take the safe play and full clear Swamp Palace for that crystal, or do you make the crazy play and go for Pendant T Rock? What do you do?
Yeah, I guess it's just one of those things about just trying to using the damage boost to prevent the loss of the bomb following you when you do the dash, so it gets out of that screen nice and quick.
Yeah.
Bam, and again.
I've seen some, if I may use your term, some cheeky plays using the bomb. There's a bunch of different really cool setups, because there's like the screen transition one or the mirror transition one that respawns the bomb when you hit 0 on the timer, and some other fancy ones like to take the bomb in the water. We rarely get to see those plays. If only
Yeah, I've seen the screen transition one.
Yeah. If only... It seems rare that the Pyramid Fairy ends up having something like super important, or for a player having to do some sort of wacky glitch to get to it. Need more people to work on some plandos for us.
It's a lovely key.
Oh yeah. Christos is the only player currently in unknown territory, so we'll see what items are being held in Thieves Town, if any at all.
Yeah. Okay, I think there is one more item left on blind. Is he going down? He is going down for that swamp. There we go.
So TGH will be picking up his Tempered Sword and Half Magic, and I believe that was the only thing of value in this dungeon. I wonder if he's going to go for the straight to Argus play and potentially skip left side or not. More to be revealed. While
definitely as well, like if you do that, that quick play, get so many good items, would you then kind of go, It's one of those things you ever gamble on or not, because it's always, you know, it's sod's law, isn't it? That as soon as you don't go left, everything's there.
It's like the fire rod or a bow or the flip, you know, everything that you need or hope is there is on the left side whenever you skip it. That always seems to happen. Whenever you like make a gamble on skipping an item in a dungeon, that's the chest that has the item that you need. Oh, and there's Bombos. That is our last medallion.
And if that is needed for Maya, that is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, that's a could be
also,
game changer.
There's also a green pendant, so there is also a Sahasrara check. My words today are trying very hard to not to stay in.
You know, you could pretty much just say any sort of combination of Sa, Ra, Sha, La, and the people know who you're talking about.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, that guy. He's my favorite.
That guy.
He gives me my boots. Alright, big play for Christos. If we get go mode from Thieves Town, that'd be amazing.
He is going to go and check Sahasrara as well.
But what is the next play going to be, ChristosOwen?
Yeah, ChristosOwen. What do you got going on in that head of yours?
Moment of truth. Sahasrara, are you the answer? You are not the answer.
Our survey says...
Ruby.
Pocket change. Cheers, bro.
I want to take this opportunity to take a look at the previous round and see how these players ended up performing. I know ChristosOwen ended up going 4-2, just barely squeaking out a win against, I believe it was Mike the... No, it wasn't Mike the... Who was his last opponent? To stay out of the tiebreaker race. Oh, it was... I don't remember.
Chris was checking Agoni's going to get that ice rod. Oh no, where is he going? Checking ledge cave. Ledge. Bombs. Just bombs. Sorry, go ahead with the previous one.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, in the previous round, in the Swiss round, Kyle finished... Actually, these numbers are all wrong. Someone can't go 7-0. Never mind. I'm not even going to talk about it. I already lost interest.
Yourself.
Alright, Chris is picking up his ice rod. Now, will he make the gamble on T-Rock versus Swamp Palace? Doesn't look like it. It looks like he's going to be either going to Pyramid Fairy or heading down to Swamp, while TGH is over here picking up his Temper Sword and his Half Magic, and Christos is doing the opposite of whatever I was talking about. Oh, we still haven't seen, I'm guessing, a hobo check from Ice Rock Cave. Christos, what are you doing?
He's, I don't know, he's having a good day. Just swimming. Just swimming.
He must be going to Ice Rock Cave.
Yeah,
I guess this is...
Of course, did he? He's not going to be happy with whatever he finds. Just, again, we now know we have everything we need for the one, the only... Turtle Rock.
Stop saying it like that. With Kyle making the Thieves Town play, he's going to be getting his Bombos medallion and his useless green pendant, but this could be pendant flute still, or pedestal flute. Looking for that. No, okay, let's talk about this. What if, hold on, stop. What if?
Okay, just slow your roll, Charlie.
Book on Laser Bridge to get into Desert.
Yeah.
To like complete it. If we're talking about a flute on pedestal, like we could see that book on the Laser Bridge. Also, I'm assuming Kyle has his Cane of Samaria if he went and finished Skull Woods. Did he not do Skull Woods? He might not have done Skull Woods yet.
No, he finished Skull Woods. He was just doing it.
Was he?
Yeah, he just finished. Well, not just now, but like he did do it. I'm pretty sure, unless he died to the boss, or I was watching someone else just completely wigged out. I'm pretty sure he's done it. Am I seeing things?
And we'll just wait for him to pause, and then we'll find out. Anyway, it looks like Christos is going to be the first player to make the T-Rock gamble. So this is big, and it's kind of the advantage of having done. Wow, he's done everything except for Swamp Palace, so he really does not want to go into Swamp Palace. And this actually, since we know there's no progression items in Swamp, this might be the play.
Yeah.
Actually, it has to be the play. We don't have any other options at this point, do we?
There's got to be something. Or not.
Something.
Probably not. Yeah, this is it. This is it.
Like, this is it. There's nothing else left. It's got to either be the flute in here, or it's got to be the book. Or... No, that's it. We've already checked all the fetch quests are done. All the overworld stuff is done. We've seen everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, he has to get the book in order, like, if it's going to be on things like tablets or, you know, what have you, it's all going to come down to something in here. I mean, yeah, I'm flummoxing. I can't think of anything.
Well, assuming that the next progression item is in T-Rock, this is very classic of the version 27, where it's like...
Have we checked the Sacred Grove?
For... like the Stump Kid?
Well, no, the Light World Grove.
The dig spot? Yeah.
We have.
Yes.
What was it?
I believe. I don't remember. It was nothing. It was something worth remembering, but I know it wasn't progression. So I think I saw Christos.
Happy with what he finds here for digging game, which is just a big 20. Bam.
Well, we might see Kyle check it here coming up, or we might see it from TGH in like a matter of seconds. You're about to get your wish. Aha!
Got dig spot in the ground. What is it that we have found? Rubbish!
A piece of heart. Which at this point is, yeah, rubbish. They've got plenty of hearts. They don't need any more. Alright, well, here's something to look at. So, let's say Christos finds the next progression item in here that either tells him it's a Pennant Dungeon or sends him straight to Mire. But, you know, at this rate, he will probably end up go-moding Swamp, as we discussed, and probably skip out on that sword. I'd be happy to be proven wrong, but, you know, those sword differentials in the Ganon fight are fun to watch.
Yeah. But, I mean, despite the fact that Master Sword is a horrible fight, it can be done very well.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be...
It's never going to be as fast as Tempered, of course, but no, it can, with enough precision, it can be very, very nice.
And you got to be hoping for finding a cape along the way as well, because that just adds a little bit of functionality. It makes the Ganon fight a little bit easier when you only have Master Sword. So. Yeah. But he's probably going to get bailed out by a sword somewhere coming up. Feeling it.
I just realized we haven't had any shields.
Who needs shields? They're garbage. Besides,
no one needs shields, but you know, I think when you get everything before you get to GT, you're just kind of like, well, GT's gonna be rubbish. I'm just gonna get keys and money.
I'm just gonna find
in there, you know.
I'm just gonna find all 3 shields in a random room or something like that. I can't help it. Whenever I think of shields in this tournament, I always think of Tear trying to get the picket to steal a shield from him, like spending several minutes to make sure that it's taken. And we got our last bottle from Mimic Cave, another B-Torp. So two B-Torps, a blue pot, and I believe the other one was a green pot.
It was a green eye. There we go.
Oh,
but the thing is, remember, although TGH plays well, if we find the flute and it's a grand bazaar, great, let's go. And it turns out that Maya is Bomb Boss, he has to make that play on Thieves Town. So that's the only thing that can really trip him up, is if the one medallion we need is the one he doesn't.
Well, that medallion will be pretty much the equalizer between the race between Kyle and TGH. Yeah, Kyle's still got a little bit more overworld left to do. I wonder why he's staying in the... What else does he have left to do in the Dark World? Because he can't check Bombos, and he's already done Swamp. Alright, Moment of truth. Laser Bridge. Coming up. Christos, no magic, but he has the boots, so he can easily laser skip. Let's find out where the item is going to be in here. There's another shield. Oh my gosh.
The shield. We've been talking about this. Stop taking things away from GT.
One more shield, please. Give me another shield.
Give me potato salad. Right, no. Okay.
Oh, there it is. There's the flute.
Final bit of laser bridge. That's what he needs. He's got all of the medallions. So that is, I think, officially go mode.
That is officially go mode for ChristosOwen at around 1 hour and 15 minutes. Flute on the last chest in laser bridge. That's V27 for you. Now I'm still wondering, hey, what's Trinex have then? Does he have like a dungeon map or something? But
I wasn't counting, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wasn't either. All right, moment of truth. What is the required medallion for Meyer? It doesn't really matter too much for Christos or Kyle because they have all three, but for TGH, he needs it to not be Bombos. Because at this rate, you know, he only did the first half of Thieves Town. If he could skip having to do the rest of it, it'd save him a lot of time. But yeah, both these players not wanting to make that gamble, or not so much not wanting to, but like putting off that T-Rock gamble. It's one of those things where it's like, I know there's going to be an item there, but I don't want to go to T-Rock. I don't want to go to Penda T-Rock. But every time you don't go, it's there.
Seems like Kyle is now making his way up there as well, so he's just slightly behind. And as we say, well, this is it. This is basically it for whether or not we're going to have a go mode for TGH as well. It is Quake!
Oh, man. So that is going to give advantage to TGH. He's going to be taking... Yeah, I'd say he's in second place right now. Christos in first, TGH in second, and Kyle in third at the moment. We still have a lot more left to do, and it looks like Kyle might be going for the Hera play first. Man, so it could still come down to a G-Tower Big Key scenario, different routing, but yeah, that Bombos medallion in Thieves Town not coming into play at all.
Yeah. Turns out that Thieves Town was just a bust.
Did Kyle really not get the red cane out of Skull Woods? I see that still not marked.
Yeah, I think he did originally what? Well, I don't know. I honestly don't know. If he hasn't, that's huge.
Well, the problem is he double dipped Skull Woods, so he might have thought he already got it the first time he was in there, because I believe the big key was early. Maybe? I could be wrong.
I mean, if he doesn't have Kane, that's kind of...
Yeah, if he doesn't have Kane, it's over.
Yeah.
there's nothing else to it.
Yeah, because, I mean, at this point, you know, it's not going to come down to, you know, being that good at execution against, you know, TGH to really make up that difference. It's unfortunately just a little bit too much.
And I wasn't paying attention, but it seems that we had a free Meyer, by the way, with the early big key. So nothing else going on in Meyer. That's always nice to see. So ChristosOwen going to be saving a lot of time getting to go mode Meyer and Swamp Palace. He is going to be missing that sword, but at this rate, he's got such a tremendous lead that I can't imagine that affecting him too much. And I can see now that Kyle does not have the Cane of Samaria, so either he miscounted or something in Skull Woods, or thought he already checked both items, or thought he already checked the big chest. That's extremely unfortunate for Kyle. I really can't imagine him.
And the thing is, yeah, spending all this time as well going into the basement is only going to make that gulf widen, which is not, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, he doesn't know, but it's kind of, yeah, it's not good for him right now.
But the thing is, without, you know, that's probably why he went to Thieves Town, is because he didn't have the red cane. He probably didn't think he had any other options, because, you know, T-Rock is completely blocked off if you don't have the Cane of Samaria. And once he does this, I think he's out of options, to be honest. I don't think he has anything left he could do, so we might see that dreaded player sitting on the map screen for an extended period of time, which is something you never want to see.
Yeah.
from anyone.
I mean, it happens to the best of us, of course. Like, you know, no one is immune to that. Sometimes you just think you've got nowhere else to go.
Christos wanting to switch to his net before saving and quitting. He wanted to show it off a little bit. You know, he went through the trouble of getting it, so he's like, "Hey, look, I got it."
Still got that Swamp Palace to do as well. So we will see a fast version of this, which means that he probably is going to not pick up that sword.
Probably not. Who knows? He might check. If you're in go mode and you're still on Master Sword, it might be worth, you know, checking those few chests downstairs on your way to Argus. But at the same time, you know, he knows his opponents. He knows he doesn't have that kind of time to spare. And I'm sure he can trust his own execution to come through in that Ganon fight, but we'll see.
Yeah. Gonna have to see here if Kyle remembers that he's still got one item left in Skull Woods.
And he is looking at his items and thinking, what did I do wrong? Oh no.
Yeah, this is the confusion coming now.
Yep. Anyway, over on TGH's side, he's making his way into Mire. Quick Mire come through. Silver Arrows makes the Victory's fight super easy, so even having a difference of swords doesn't really make a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
And
if Kyle makes his way left, we're looking into some hope here. But bam, that's part one.
Might be a chance.
Part two is going into Dark World, and it looks like he's definitely going to do that.
What's part 3, Bowie?
Going into Skull Woods.
What's part 4?
Getting the Cane of Samaria.
What's part 5?
Question. What's part 6? Profit. We'll see. It looks like, yeah, he has remembered the big chest. There it is.
I wonder if it was a matter of forgetting about it or intentionally skipping it, hoping it wasn't anything. I don't know. I can't imagine that, but yeah. That's unfortunate. He'll be heading up to Key Rock next.
Please, TGH.
TGH.
This is a PG-13 stream.
With a map check right at the end, too. Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful hover. Dude, that's gonna save him a little bit of time.
A little bit of time. That was a little bit of time.
A little bit of time. Unfortunately, you know, for TGH, he still does have to go do Tower of Hera, but conveniently he can set it up where he goes Dark World and then mirrors to finish Hera and then goes right back into the Dark World. And poof, there he is, right in front of Ganon's Tower. All right, moment of truth for ChristosOwen. Is he going to go check those chests down there looking for a sword? And he is not. So no half magic, no tempered sword. But at this rate, I think he'll be fine. Kyle is tremendously behind, unfortunately, because of the Skullwood skip. He might be able to make a little ground along the way, but that's looking grim. Yeah, that's just one of those things. Like, what did Pod have? Pod just had swords, right? It didn't have actual progression. Well, it had a lamp, but that's not real progression. Well,
yeah, I mean,
by logic, it's progression.
All of the kind of sequence breaking have been done by then, so that was just closing a loop. It's going to be interesting to see how much of a difference this does make. I mean, because TJ is going to be making his way up already, because he's only got Hera left, so he's immediately going to be going up there, so he's already going to be in the area.
I mean, between TGH and Christos, it could easily come down to a sword difference, a G-Tower routing difference. But yeah, the fact that he will already be up in the Dark World, will already have this, you know, portal set up, and will just be right outside of G-Tower once he finishes this last crystal. It's pretty convenient, to be honest.
Yeah, Hera's a very, very quick clear. And, and Kyle. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say he just missed that torch, but he did get it. So, thankfully, because of the hook shot, pulling him off, you have no chance to pulling you off the little red tile. You have no chance to really not miss that door. My word. I'm struggling with the English today. I really am. I don't know why. It's getting late. It's almost midnight. But no, of course, it is that time of the hour, isn't it? I believe.
Yes, it is that time of the hour. I'm seeing a lot of numbers in chat. It's kind of actually a little startling. Bowie, would you care to explain why chat is blowing up with numbers?
Well, the reason chat is blowing up with numbers is because in our final dungeon, the most exciting dungeon of all,
yes,
there is, before we can make our way to the Lord of Darkness himself, Ganon, we do need to, of course, find a big key. Now, inside Ganon's tower, there is 22 unique, identical boxes. Their price is probably unique, but they are all identical boxes, and inside one of those boxes is the Ganon's Tower Big Key, which will allow our players to make their way to the top of the tower, fight Aghanim 2, and save the world again. And it's up to you guys to guess which box it's going to be. And if you are a sub of Speed Gaming or have cheered 250 bits to any of the Speed Gaming channels, you can indeed make a guess, and you can be shouted out by the bot for getting it right. If you're the first person to get the number right.
That was well done. I like that. The unique boxes part. That was good. Anyway, Christos, heading into G-Tower first. Let's see what we got going on the right side. Going with the general preferred route of 2 chests on the right. And we'll see if he goes left or not. Oh, he got bailed out by the sword. All right, sword number 4, right side of G-Tower. Every time. G-Tower always has a sword. That is 2 so far.
3.
So,
arrow upgrade.
TGH going to be getting his gold sword out of this.
I like the golden sword. It's nice.
It's pretty nice, yeah. It has a unique sound to it, which gives it a little bit more value. And we're going to be going by Chris's chest count, despite the fact that TGH is right on his tail.
Mm-hmm.
Couple small keys up in this Stalfos room. 3 small keys. That's the norm. You're always going to get like 2 or 3 small keys in here.
So that's 7, I believe. Ooh, oh crikey, that was close. Never mind, we're safe.
Chest number 8, another small key. We're up to 4 keys. Now let's see. TGH is also going to be making the same play as Christos, going for the left side play. I highly doubt we'll see any sort of shenanigans of players. There's sometimes players will go to the random room and mirror out there. I would honestly be surprised if I saw that from either of these. We'll probably see a full play all the way to Ice Armos. But yeah, this is really close between TGH and Christos, and just execution alone, TGH might be able to take.
Christos is no slouch, though.
I'm not saying he is, but this turned out to be a lot closer than I was expecting.
Yeah, especially considering like the very very early lead that Christos had with that hammer, and just kind of how long it took the other players to really kind of get into that swing.
There's the book. Wow. Red ruby, heart piece, and some bombs.
I want to say that's 13 now.
Yes, I believe so.
Yes, this is 13. Dropping some bombs.
Kyle just about to pick up his flute and making his way over to Meyer. Christos coming up to the Bob chest, and I believe Bob lives this round because there was nothing on that torch item this time. Hello, Bob.
Dr. Bob-tastic.
Shoutouts.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Okay. Give me a heart attack.
What happened?
I when you just think that he got knocked back, so he's not going to make it to the chest, and if that was the big
and the
key.
bomb. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, the convenient thing is if that happens, he can just leave the room, and I believe the bomb hole fills back up magically because Ganon is magic. And it is not here. It's going to be on the right side.
Yeah, it's 17, I think. No.
For once, that stupid route would have paid out. My preferred Stalfos room to right side, because then you always have a guaranteed key to go right. But at the same time, that tile room is still on the table, so
Yeah.
and we're going to see a tile room from either player first, because tile room is always last. That is the rule. And if you break it, then we break you.
A madman or a genius.
Oof. Just have enough magic to clear that room.
That's very, very... Oh, man. I'm getting nervous.
TGH clearing up these ice armors real quick. He's going to be finding his disappointment coming up pretty soon.
Goal! Touchdown.
Compass. Big red. Big key!
Okay.
Another big red. So I believe that was chest number
20.
20.
20.
Chest number 20. 20 out of 22. Congratulations to whoever guessed that correctly. That's almost a full clear G tower. Disgusting.
It was our first sub to support a guess correct. It was Korek. Congratulations.
You.
You are on that leaderboard, so.
Alright, so TGH, not far behind. He's got to be quick here if he wants to make this sequence. Taking a few hits from these enemies, but he'll be just fine. And once he gets his big key, it all comes down to who's got the better execution. And both these players have amazing execution in this game, The Link to the Past. And the fact of the matter is, Gold Sword, the difference between Gold Sword and Tempered is not, maybe a couple seconds difference. It's not really that big of a difference, especially if you have, these astounded NMG runners who have skills for like Tempered Ganon and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially for part one, the kind of technique you're really wanting to hammer home is, managing to get that bounce off of the trident to get the spin attack.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the main thing that can really speed up that first segment. If you don't get that, you will be having to go through a second trident throw, and that can slow down that first section. Where you don't really have that issue with the golden sword. It's just too powerful. I think it's like what 6 swings, is it?
6 swings, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
It's almost cheaty. Well, but before we get to that Ganon fight, we still have a Land Mola 2 and a potential Moldorn / Troldorm 2.
We get the truth.
And
Truth.
a beautiful one cycle from ChristosOwen. 3 arrows, and Land Mola is down. TGH not far behind.
Perhaps the best looking series of screens ever, because these guys have no HP, and the Cane of Samaria just does what it needs to do. Love it. I don't know, it feels good. It feels good, Willard.
To kill those Wizrobes with the Cane of Samaria? Oh, man. It's great. Can't deny that. The worst seeds in the world are the ones that are Cane of Samaria-less. Because you're like, how do I do these rooms now? I guess I'll use a bow. Okay, coming up on Kyle's side, finishing off Vitreous. He'll be making his way up to G Tower, so he'll definitely be in G Tower before these players finish. Which, as a standard, it's like, I want to be either in G Tower before I see that first dot done. Of course, in this tourney race, that's not what you want to see, ever.
Yeah. I didn't know you could actually reach that from there. That's actually quite impressive.
Yeah. And not only that, but hitting it with his last bit of magic. Because I don't know if he still has a second potion in his... He used up that green potion, so unless he bought like a blue along the way.
Thankfully, there's a big pot just there. Barely nice.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, let's see this Moldorn fight. Oh no!
Great start. Great start.
Great.
Now we've seen some pretty nice hovering from TGH. Will he go for it on Moldorn too?
He's 2 for 2 right now. Might as well make it 3 for 3. A slash and a spin, and Moldorn is dead. But once again, TGH not far behind. He is running out of magic here, so he's gonna have to use the lantern to finish off these 2 spots. And I believe that was just rupees in the last chest for Christos.
I was watching TGH's nail biting lighting of torches there, so I did not see it. But Christos now engaging Aga 2. Aga 2.
Alright, let's see this Aga 2 pattern. Oh, there's a 2, and it looks like TGH is going to opt not to hover. Too much is at stake. And when he got a gold sword, Oh, just barely.
Ooh, so close to the triple.
That was
two,
so
two and
close
two,
to the triple,
just two
yeah.
more. One and...
Oh, 2-2-1-1 then.
There it is. Nice and clean.
Now, I gotta say, barring some sort of catastrophic event in Christos' side, TGH is going to be able to cover a little, make up a little bit of time with that gold sword, but I think Christos is poised to take first place in this race. We'll see how this Agatu goes for TGH first. Oh, unfortunate. Not only hitting one of the balls into the side, he also hit Aga into the wall, so his other attack just got absorbed by it. Oh, man.
Opting for a different strat there, but unfortunately it fell a bit shy. I think he's just got 2 1s now. 1-1-1.
I think the turning nerves are setting in for TGH. He's a bit of a sloppy Agatu.
Not feeling great about that one. There it is. He's down, and you can see Christos doing a great job getting this damage off now, regardless of your.
He's got to be careful. I don't think he has a fairy.
I don't think it will matter really too much, because, like, if you're getting hugged at this point, you kind of deserve to get hit.
He does have 2 B-Torbs. Should probably use those.
Free the beast win.
Free the beast. Getting a lot of warps from Ganon.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of
all
warps.
players have silvers. I mean, even if it was, going for silverless, I feel like it's kind of decided our positions at this point, unless we're going to see a freak accident in a fall, which would be catastrophic.
Oh man. Ganon just 3 silver arrows away. I don't think he has enough time to hit him again. Oh, he does. Okay. 1 more to go. While TGH is just heading into phase 3.
Oh, this is the hit. Nice.
Christos, please.
Okay, there we go. And GG gets that one there. Congratulations to ChristosOwen coming first in this race and securing
holding up his sword victoriously. Once he moves into that thing, TJ's not far behind, but yeah, Christos finishing first place with a time of 1:36.54. Congratulations, he will be moving on to the top 16. And TGH will more than likely finish less than 30 seconds behind.
Mm-hmm. Should we note as well that Kyle did go right first, so he has already got his sword and his big key, and he is already making his way up as well. Although, am I seeing 0 keys?
I believe that is a 0, yeah. He's going for...
Huh.
It might be... I honestly can't tell. No, I think he has 3. But TGH coming in second place with a 1:37.31. So just a little over 30 seconds behind. But that's going to do it, guys. That is your 2 winners for this race. Moving on to the top 16. And unfortunately, that'll be the end of Kyle in this tournament.
He's done a really, really good job, though, man, pushing this group. When you have such titans as Christos and TGH, it's kind of knowing their ability at the NMG category just on the off, and then obviously the experience they put into Rando. He's done a really, really good job just kind of fighting back and pushing it to this point. Kyle's been really fantastic throughout this entire tournament, so it is a shame to see him go. But
exactly, it was just unfortunate that these 3 got put in the same group. You want to see all 3 of these players make it through, but that's how it goes sometimes. And
it's competition.
It's tough out there being a random player. Anyone can take any game. Some of these players, getting 4-0 in our groups, in the group stages, you didn't even expect. And even some players that you expected to go 4-0 are sitting at 2-2. So, but that's kind of the joy of Rando, is you never know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
And at least as a commentator and a viewer,
Yeah. Although you do know that there are your favourites or players that you kind of know will be very, very strong, it will always come down to the seed, really, and kind of the decisions that players make, rather than if someone makes a fantastic, a really, really good like serendipitous play, that puts them ahead just in terms of just their general routing, you can sometimes see those, with let's say the lesser executions, ability just kind of come out on top anyway, and it's kind of nice to see those when routing is the thing that is rewarded rather than your ability to play. So because there are these two facets about Randomizer, and they're both equally as important.
Yeah, it's a bit of a I don't know how it splits, but there's execution, routing, and then luck. Those are like the three facets.
I still say luck is like 99.9%, and then 0.05 is execution.
I mean, you could be like a brand new player and just make every single right move and win. It happens. It happens to all of us. So, but that's why I really like Zelda 3 Randomizer, because it's very inviting to players of all calibers. If you've just been watching NMG runs, or you've been watching the tournament, you're like, oh man, this looks fun. I want to play. Well, what are you waiting for? Get started. Come join us for the next tournament in the spring. We will have qualifiers again, and as far as I know, there's also going to be the secondary tournament for players that don't happen to qualify for the main tournament, but that they're just moving on to top 16 as well in the brackets, and that's some good players over there too. So,
sure. And that's the way it goes as well. I mean, a lot of the qualifications, it's not a case of you race these massive races. You do a variety of them, and everyone kind of sees your average time versus others, and you kind of get seeded, let's say, from that. And so it's a very open and I guess clean way of getting those seeds going. So we now have Kyle opening up this Aga 2 fight, and gonna hopefully see it home with real panache here.
Once Kyle finishes, then we will open this up for our players to come in for an interview. I don't think Kyle has a mic, so I don't think he'll be able to join us, but we will be able to have TGH and Christos, and I'm sure they want to talk about their routing, and especially when it came down to almost a 30-second difference. You got to think that players, they made pretty much the same choices. I mean, they made a lot of the same choices. I got to say that Tempered Sword in G Tower, probably one of the bigger factors that determined the end of this race as well, between Christos and TGH, because, yeah, Master Sword, you saw how quick TGH took out Ganon. Imagine if Christos had only the Master Sword. But, yeah.
It literally is like a hot knife through butter.
Now, to bring back up that subject I had at the beginning about what constitutes a troll seed, this was a troll seed. Flute in Laser Bridge, last chest of Laser Bridge, independent T-Rock. When you have the Ice Rod too, awful. Terrible.
I mean, at that point, you're pretty much resolved just to complete it.
Yeah. And those late swords kind of also played a part too. But it was very interesting to see how the seed unrolled, especially with the sequence breaks at the beginning.
Yeah. And then kind of discovering what the intended logic was as well. I think that was really intriguing, because we had seen these massive sequence breaks. Okay, we're kind of thinking, so what is the item we're missing? Turns out, obviously, it was the hammer, which led into the lamp, which would then lead you up to get the mitts and bring you back round. But yeah.
Which, to be honest, I was not expecting it to be hammer. That was not what I was expecting from Zora. So that was kind of a big surprise.
I was gonna say, all of our eyes were on things like what was it? I think we had book up there. We were thinking mitts as well, but we found that somehow. But
yeah, I guess it could have got worse if we had not found the flute and instead found book on Laser Bridge or something of that sort. But yeah, I guess this seed wasn't too bad. But
oh, Kyle, no, that is the issue with maybe trying to get that center.
Yeah, trying to set up for that triple or double, and sometimes the fire rod moves pretty quick, and it can easily light that torch a little bit quicker than you can react, and then all of a sudden, poof, there's a Ganon on top of your head. But unfortunately, with
Ganon knocks you 14 years. You just go so far. What on earth?
It's ridiculous.
I think he can knock you from the center off. It's nuts.
Mm-hmm. Like the hard hat beetles, they do ridiculous knockback, or Moldorm does ridiculous knockback. And then we got Ganon, who's double that.
Can knock you back into the light world if you wanted.
Could knock you back into Zelda 1.
Could you imagine? That'd be the best ROM hack ever. Hug Ganon and suddenly you just play in the first game. Someone make it.
Yeah, get on that. I'll pay you in bits. Yeah, fortunately for Kyle, he does still, he has silvers, he has gold, so getting back to where he left off is not going to be that bad. And the other thing about this is, like, looking at these times across the board, like, this is still a good finishing time, despite all that. I am going to be interested to hear what exactly happened that caused him to skip that Canis Amari, because both and I, the whole time, we were like, wait, he didn't get it? What? Like,
I think it's going to be the interesting one.
Yeah.
Just going to try and get this finished there. One more, I believe. Gets in blue and saves the planet. Finishing with an official SRL time of... Drumroll.
Go for it. 1:45:25.
Nice.
So still less than 10 minutes off the first place finish, which staying in 10 minutes is usually a good feel. But yeah, double Ganon fight is but at the same time, when you're already out, it's like it doesn't really matter. But GG's to all three of our players.
Yeah, played very,
Kyle
very well.
LPN, ChristosOwen, and TGH. I'm putting on a ridiculously awesome show, and now we'll have the pleasure of bringing our players in this fancy interview.
Right. We drag him in.
Your choices would have been Trinex or Blind, I guess.
They were already doing the interview without us.
Yo,
Having a little chat backstage there. Welcome, guys.
GG's.
Congratulations, Christos and TGH. You have obviously defeated your opponent and made it through to the top 16. First of all, how do you feel?
Relieved.
Yeah, relieved, very relieved.
Yeah.
It was an intense match.
Yeah, definitely. That was a cool seed.
I was going to ask, like, what do you kind of think about the seed? Because Willard and I were noticing, obviously, sequence breaks coming out, and we were trying to, figure out what the linking item was, and it turned out to be Hammer from Zora.
Yeah.
Kind of, Christos, you got that quite early. So how, after doing all your sequence breaking, kind of how did that work you around to Zora? And then obviously when you got it, how did you feel going forward?
Yeah, so I did like a bunch of dark rooms and then Death Mountain, and I knew that one of like the loose locations I had left, so Icewood Cave, Zora, or Agana, had something that was going to open up more locations. Honestly, I wasn't expecting Hammer. I was expecting the flute or the lamp. Like best case scenario, I was hoping for the flute. But then the Hammer was there, and I was like, yeah, okay, now I can do like a billion things. And I was quite indecisive to begin with. I did like Hype Cave and some of the South Dark World, and then I went up to Hera to finish that. Now that I could kill Moldorm. But in the back of my head, I was still like, there could still be a flute around.
Yeah.
Like I was really looking for flute early on, and obviously it ended up being the Go Mode item. So yeah.
This is you mentioned that you went up to Hera. So literally every single one of you, without a weapon to defeat Moldorm, went into Hera on the off chance that you were lucky.
I just dived
it was
in
one of those ones
first.
that I personally, obviously I'm not in the tournament or top 16, so I'm just chatting rubbish. But what kind of like prompted you that, just on the off chance that you got lucky, or?
I thought that there might have been an item in Hera. Like I was basically looking for items. Like when I'm up on Death Mountain, like early without a sword, I'm just looking for items. I'm looking for a weapon, and Hera, I guess, is just included in one of those locations that I'm checking while I'm up there for something. Try to find whatever I can.
Double dip.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, I did the East Death Mountain first. So, like, when I finished up Death Mountain, I was in the Dark World near Turtle Rock. So I could easily just dash to Ganon's Tower, Mirror, and go in Hera. And I only checked the first two locations in there. Because you need to find Big Key anyway. So you might be forced into Tarum. I wasn't, so then I just save and quit. And was just hoping that the item I needed wasn't upstairs in Hera. And luckily it wasn't.
Fair enough.
Yeah, at the beginning, like one of the interesting parts was like, where are these swords? Where are they? When are these players going to find them? And I believe Kyle was the first one to find it in the bottom section of Swamp Palace. The only sword you skipped,
wow.
Christos, because
That's surprising.
Yeah, we were talking about it because we were like, I don't know, Swamp Palace always seems to have swords, and actually no, I take that back. Christos, you were the first one to find a sword. You found 2 swords in Palace of Darkness, and then as soon as you found your Master Sword, Kyle found a sword in Swamp. And we were wondering how it was going to go because you kept putting off Swamp longer and longer, obviously wanting to go mode it if possible, which fortunately you did, and at the same time missing that sword, but then getting bailed out by that Tempered Sword in the right side in G Tower. So had that sword in G Tower not existed, you know, we could have seen like maybe a swap between you and TGH.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
I got bailed out there. If there was no Tempered in GT, there's no way I would have beat TGH there, based on how little I beat him by. But, so for me, I was just playing like the stats. So I had a 50-50 decision to make between Swamp and Total Rock. I'd done everything else, I'm pretty sure, unless I'd forgot something. One, there's like barely never anything in Swamp. Like, that's just confirmation bias, but it feels like that. And the second thing was, I don't think any of the pendants... Well, we hadn't been into Desert. I've been into Thieves Town, and it was a bust unless Bombos was required for Maya, which I didn't know. So I was thinking, well, the chance of 0 pendants being required is extremely low. So that was like an indicator that Turtle Rock would be like have something. And Turtle Rock's like the items that are there the most is the flute and the boots. So I was like, yeah, there's a fair chance it's going to be in Turtle Rock. Luckily, I found the Ice Rod first because that was one thing I was concerned with.
Yeah, we were noticing like as it kind of went on, because TGH had picked up the Ice Rod a little bit sooner than everyone else, and then all the items were slowly racking up and were just poking and pointing towards it. TGH, as it kind of got closer, was this? Were you kind of like a little bit nervous about the Turtle Rock having to be? Obviously, it ended up being an essential pick, but kind of as it was building up, was it always there, just in the back of your mind? And how did it kind of affect your routing?
Yeah, I figured that when I had just Swamp left for dungeons and the dig spot, which I for whatever reason didn't get earlier. So Swamp, between the dig spot, Swamp, and TR, and in Deep Thieves Town, those were my last locations to check. I figured that TR might have something since the logic was pointing pretty strongly towards TR, but decided to do Swamp instead. It was a safer play, I thought, and I thought that the situation with the 3-way race, the tiebreaker race, I felt like a safer play was in order. I might have gone on the TR if it were a 1-on-1, or if it were a larger race for less spots. Yeah. But yeah, decided that Swamp was the better play there, and unfortunately, it did end up being TR, and I ended up probably wasting a lot of time getting left side.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things you have to kind of just you have to make a decision at some point, and it will either go in your favor or not. So this is a bit of I guess I'll have to call it a weird question, but of course, you know, you'll always tend to build your route based on, you know, what items you get and, you know, what's available to you. Mm-hmm. But do you find that like particular seeds tend to really like transform the way you tend to build in your head, your kind of like mental route? Or are they always kind of because you always want to do certain things, and there are things that you'll always want to personally prioritize. But did you find kind of like this seed maybe kind of like unbalancing your preferences in terms of routing?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, any time there's a pendant dungeon involved, there's going to be a certain degree of risk going into it or considering it over a crystal dungeon. In this case, like I'm always going to be a player that favors crystals over pendants unless I'm trying to gamble. I think that in this case, the situation was more of a deciding factor for me rather than what items I got, because I knew that TR was probably going to be relevant.
What is it?
Yeah, it is VG7. So.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I just decided to play it safe, I guess. Ordinarily, though, like if I'm playing a bigger race and I'm trying to get the best time that I possibly can, then yeah, I'm gonna try and follow the logic as closely as I can and sort of pay less attention to what's a crystal and what's a pendant.
Yeah.
But in this case, I don't think that was the right play for me personally.
So I guess to both of you, like, what is that point where you are kind of like forced to gamble rather than kind of make a educated guess? So I guess there is a difference between the two there, isn't there? Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. It's a tough line to draw, really. I guess it's God, that's a really tough question.
So for me, Turtle Rock was an educated guess because it had something. If it hadn't something, I would have called it a gamble that I lost.
If it was a good one,
it's only an educated guess if it pays off. But yeah, it was gutsy. The safer play was definitely Swamp Palace, but the fact that I've full cleared these down and I did so much overworld routing, I wasn't feeling that confident. Like, I was metagaming, I was thinking, like, Kyle beat me last time, and like, you know, I struggled to beat TGH even when he's having a terrible time. So I was like, I need to do something which the other two might not be doing. And it just paid off.
Yeah. I think that's kind of an interesting dynamic with this race as well, obviously, because you beat TGH, you beat Kyle beat you, Christos. You know, you all know that you all got the ability to win. You know, how did that affect you mentally, kind of like either preparing for the race or kind of like when you're making those early game decisions, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to try this and that and the other. Is that in the back of your mind? Does that kind of like affect your actual decisions or your gambling / guessing?
Yeah, well, with two opponents, so 3-person race with 2 spots, you know, you just have to make sure you don't lose. So that's a different mentality between trying to win, which I think is what TGH was leaning towards. Do the safer play, Swamp Palace, it's Crystal, and, you know, rely on execution. But I actually had some interesting, like, especially my early game and like my first Darkwood sweep, the route I did was something I don't normally ever do. Like, I did Palace of Darkness, and then I went to Pyramid, Catfish, dropped off the Mushroom, and then did like the upper left sweep, King's Tomb, blah 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 blah, into Skullwoods. So I was actually like, entering Skullwoods from a direction I never normally do. Like, I normally go straight to town as soon as I can and go straight to Skullwoods. That's normally the very first thing I do in the Dark World, but it was like really late for me today. So there's some interesting routing.
Fair enough. Well, obviously you haven't made it through to the top 16. Brackets will obviously be built and put forward, but it's crunch time now. This is the big boy stuff. This is where, you know, we separate the men from the mice. Pushing forward, obviously there's only so much you can do in terms of, what kind of stuff do you tend to prepare for or kind of practice as you move forward in these events?
I guess to just be as efficient as possible. Like, I mean, like I'm practicing every day with just playing seeds. Really, I don't see a change in mentality to be completely necessary quite yet. I guess it depends on the opponent, but as for right now, I mean, like, I don't know. I've always kind of prided myself with the ability to stay the course, like, you know, like to like follow through with my own game plan, regardless of who I'm playing. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I guess the key going forward is going to be to recognize when I have to and when I don't have to do that. Yeah,
for sure. It's like kind of understanding the version and the general logic patterns and try and find these these patterns in the version that can kind of read, perhaps.
You can try and read them. Sometimes it'll pay off, sometimes it won't. But yeah, I'm the same as TGH, really, just more of the same. I've not been able to actually play that much the past like 7-10 days, so, you know, before my next few matches, I'm definitely going to be putting the hours in and just doing rando races.
Fair enough, yeah. It works. Well, guys, I think we are coming to the end of our slot. I don't want to kind of keep everyone too long. But obviously, you guys made it. If you have any kind of final words, either to the guys watching or your loving and adoring fans out there, then now would be a good time to say them.
just get involved next time. If you like what you're watching, we have 2 tournaments that are going on, and no level of skill is required. Like, you can be a complete beginner and still have fun in this tournament. So if you like it, just get involved next time.
Yeah, agreed. I have to say, make sure you follow these guys, Christos, TGH. I keep stuttering, that's why I'm elongating the T. I'm sorry. And Kyle, they've done a brilliant race today. So make sure you do follow them on Twitch. TGH, you were going to say something before I cut you off.
Just thank you to the commentators and to everybody involved with the tournament. Really appreciate it, guys. This has been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun watching and commentating, so thank you guys for having us as well. I believe coming up next on this channel is going to be a Shovel Knight / Spectre Knight finals at the top of the hour, and over on Speed Gaming 2 is going to be another Link to the Past randomizer race between Kyong and Penguin Puff. So I believe that's an important race as well, mostly for Penguin Puff, but Kyong could... I think is that their last race in order to grab... yeah, they could grab that sweet 4-0 and set up a potential tiebreaker in that group as well. So, don't forget to stick around, come back later, come watch the show, and yeah, make sure to support everybody involved that puts on this show for you guys, or we'll come for you and make you support us. Sorry, I had to. Anyway, but as with Will J. Bradley, thank you so much as well to Bowie for joining me, or for allowing me to join him. This was a hoot and a half. GG's,
right.
Everyone.
Thank you. It was great fun. And I will see you soon. Take care, guys.